What was it like in the locker room after your first win?
Well, I mean, those guys were excited. I think, you know, you got to give our players a lot of credit. It was one of those games where we just made it harder on ourselves than we needed to. We had a chance to go ahead by 2 scores. You know, if we can kick the extra point, and then they blocked the extra point, run it back, and now instead of a 10-point game and you know, Navy being in a little bit of a bind because of style of offense, it's a 7-point game. And that was a huge play, obviously. But, you know, I was just really proud of our guys for battling. You know, we just kept talking about all week about, you know, just keep your head down and keep playing. And you know, it's a 60-minute game, and, you know, ended up being about a 65-minute game today. But you know, I'm just happy for them. You know, they've worked really, really hard. They've done everything we've asked them to do. You know, they're learning to play with great effort and focus and you know, discipline. You know, we talked all week about we needed to make a play in special teams to give us a chance to win, and obviously made a big one with the kickoff return. But then, you know, had a chance to put a little distance between ourselves and them, and then gave up the blocked extra point. So, you know, I was disappointed in that. You know, Prochet was really close getting out on that punt at the end of the game. So we've got some dynamic guys on teams. We just got to keep grinding and keep improving.
What went in your decision to roll the dice and go for 2 and OT?
Well, there was kind of a number of things, really. Number one, you know, felt like we had a good play. You know, that's a play that we've kind of run through the years. I'll tell you the science of football coaching, and you guys want to know the whole truth. About 2 years ago when I was at Cal, we needed a 2-point play, so we got on Google and Googled good 2-point plays. Believe it or not. And the tape showed up of this game, this 2-point play. I believe it was Alabama and Auburn from about 10 years ago. So we put it in at Cal, ran it against Oregon, helped us win a ball game, get a game into overtime that I think we won in 2 or 3 overtimes against Oregon. So it's something we've worked all camp. You know, it was, so I felt like we had a good play to start with. The second thing was, you know, we were running out of bodies defensively. You know, we were beat up. I mean, we were getting ready to have to go with a couple of true freshmen at linebacker. And so, you know, just felt like it was something we needed to do. And anytime you play a triple option team, you know, that's their strength. You know, their strength is you know, driving 25 yards. They're always so good in the red zone. And so you've got to try to you know, make the game short. And we just felt like a combination of those things and had confidence in the players being able to make the play. You got to give Navy credit. I mean, they covered it better than anybody's ever covered it. You know, I've seen people run this play, you know, through the years, and I've never seen anybody cover it. And you know, credit them. They had 2 guys right there. And so, you know, Ben Hicks made a great throw, threw it in the perfect place, and Hunter made a really good catch. You know, and he's a big body, and just was really excited about it. And happy for those kids.
What was the review about?
You know, I'm guessing just to make sure there's some technicalities involved in the play where the tackle can't put his hand down, and you know, we've practiced it 1,000 times, so we were confident that they weren't going to overturn it.
What went into the decision to put Ben Hicks in overtime?
You know, we just felt like we needed to throw the ball, and Ben's just played more. You know what I mean? And Will got a little banged up, you know, during the game, and so it just felt like that. You know, in that situation, Ben just had more experience, and we thought going in that we were going to have to throw the football. You know, Braden was out of gas. You know, X and Kamen were both out with injuries, and you know, Braden just didn't have much left in the tank. And so we just felt like, you know, given that set of circumstances, that was the right decision to make. And you know, you have to give Ben Hicks an enormous amount of credit. You know, just his character. For losing his job a week ago, and you know, and coming back today and leading us to victory. And I just can't tell you enough about him and you know, how he handled it and what that meant for us, and just really appreciative that he's, you know, that he did that, and he's selfless and practiced his tail off all week. Probably had the best week of practice he's had, and you know, like I said, just can't say enough about him.
How does a kid who sits for 60 minutes of game time stay sharp? I mean, physically stay sharp. Does he throw a lot during the game?
Yeah, he didn't a ton. You know, we told him, you know, we told him as the game started to wind down, you know, I just felt like it was the best thing. And so Ben had an opportunity to get loose. And again, we got a tremendous amount of confidence in Ben. I mean, we do, and we know he can. We know he can throw the football. And as I said, I mean, you go back and you look at that throw. I mean, that was the absolute perfect spot on the 2-point play. And so, you know, we had to make some strange decisions today. You know, we knew we needed to score touchdowns instead of kick field goals. You know, they stopped us a couple times on 4th down, and then we got it one time on 4th down. And so it's just one of those games where when you play against Navy, you have to do some things a little differently than you do in some other games. And you know, it worked once for a touchdown, you know, on 4th down, and twice it didn't. And so it was one of those games that, you know, typically when games go that way and you have an opportunity to put somebody away and you don't do it, very seldom do you win the game. And you got to give our players credit because they figured out a way to win it.
You talked about the factors that went into the decision to go for 2, but considering the score as it was, if it didn't work, it was going to end up in a loss. How hesitant were you, or how?
You know what? There was no. I mean, I knew what we were going to do. Yeah, so you just get a feel for certain things, and you know, we needed to try to win the game right there.
What made you go with the freshman, and how do you think he played for regulation?
You know, I thought he did some good things. You know, I think that you know, we'll look at the tape and see, but my impression was, you know, he did some good things. I thought Navy did a nice job of taking him away as a run option. You know, they did a good job with their DNs on some of the zone read stuff, and you know, he wasn't able really to run the football as effectively maybe as we would have liked. You know, and then by the end of the game, you know, Reggie Robertson was out. I mean, there just wasn't. We were just missing. You know, I mean, it's just a litany of players. I can remember, you know, talking to the trainer, and I was like, I don't know if we're going to have anybody else to put in the ball game, you know, on defense or offense. I mean, we just had, you know, a lot of guys that were out. And so, you know, the good thing I like about you know, what I'm starting to see from this team is, you know, if somebody goes down, somebody else steps up. They see it as an opportunity to make some plays and you know, and compete. And that's kind of what we want our program to be all about. And so we took a step in the right direction today for sure.
Now, last week didn't end in victory, but how important was it for you to find some good moments in the Michigan game? How did they carry over in this victory?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, you know, in our locker room, there wasn't one person that wasn't disappointed we lost the game. But I did think that there were some moments that gave us some confidence. You know what I'm saying? I thought you know, I thought playing in the big house wasn't too big for us. And so when it got to overtime today, you know, our guys just kind of went out there and did their thing. And so I just, you know, just really, like I said, starting to see some guys, you know, believe in themselves and have some confidence. And, you know, Navy's a hard team to beat. I mean, these guys are really, really a hard team to beat. Well, I know they are because we haven't done it for 20 years. And so, you know, we played for a trophy that our players have never even seen before. We've never had the trophy, the Gans trophy, and you know, from Frank Gans, we've never had possession of the trophy before. So, you know, they're hard to beat. You know, they're good. I mean, they're well coached. They play hard. They don't beat themselves. You know, you got to give them a ton of credit. You know, they're just, you know, they're going to get their best every single Saturday.
You mentioned how long it's been since SMU beat Navy, and when Navy was here a couple of years ago, they didn't punt once.
Yeah.
You forced 5 punts today. What were your overall thoughts on the way your defense handled that
I
option?
thought our defense kept us in the game. I mean, I really did. You know, we sputtered at times a little bit on offense, especially in the second half. You know, as I said, Braden kind of ran out of gas, and our run game wasn't as good as it needed to be. But our defense just kept playing. You know, and you know, you got to stop the fullback. And I thought for the most part we did. You know, you got to give them credit. They made some plays. Their quarterbacks are good players. You know, both of those guys, you know, did some really good things today. And you know, as you adjust, they adjust. And so they always do a good job of staying one step ahead. I mean, they've been doing this a long time. You know, but again, I can't say enough about just how hard we played. You know, we gave up the one big run, you know, to tie the game. But you know, I thought our guys, for the most part, you know, and we gave up the pass. You know, obviously they hit us on the pass coming out of the second half. But you know, I thought we played assignment football. I thought we played disciplined. I thought we tackled pretty well. You know, you could see we started missing some tackles late as we start to wear down a little bit. And so, you know, they're a handful. They're tough to beat.
Can I go back to the two-point play for one moment,
Yeah.
please? People around the country are going to look and say, well, Sonny Dykes, he's a gambler. Are you a gambler? I know you gave the good reasons. You didn't do this like
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think
are you a gambler?
I've been around. I mean, I've been watching football, either, you know, coaching or playing it my whole life, you know, and I think you just get a feel for what your team needs, you know, and I just felt like we need to go for two. And, you know, as I said, I mean, you get a feel for every single game is different, you know, how you have to play it and how you have to coach it and what do you have to do to win. And so, you know, we needed to, we went forward a lot on fourth down. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And, you know, but we felt like we needed to maximize every single opportunity. You just don't get many, you know what I mean? And so, you know, that was actually a really easy call. Never even, I mean, it was, after they scored and kicked the extra point, I said, well, when we score, we're going for two. I went and told Red immediately. Went and talked to Kevin Kane, our D coordinator, and Kevin said, yeah, he goes, we don't have anybody left. I said, good, that's what we're doing. So that's kind of how it went down.
Gotcha.
How much of the effectiveness of that two-point play is Chad Pursley waving his arms at Ben Hicks like he's an eligible receiver and therefore drawing some attention from the defense?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, typically, you know, they kept somebody back there, and so it's you know, Myron ran a little over route. Normally, both of the guys run with the over route, and again, Navy did a good job staying at home. I mean, that's what those guys do. They play disciplined football. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's kind of a trick play, you know, but you still have to execute it. And in this case, we had to make a really good throw and a really good catch.
Does it have a name?
Say it again.
Does it have a name, like special?
Yeah, we've called it everything.
Okay.
So I think we call it Oregon here. I think, but because we ran it against Oregon a couple of years ago.
After the game, your players went and stood the Navy players while Navy's alma mater played. What went into that? Was that something that you told them to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that we, you know, look, I can't say enough about the amount of respect I have for that institution and what those guys do when they're done playing football, what they stand for and who they are. And so I think our players just wanted to show as much respect as we possibly could. And you know, and I think, like I said, that's well-deserved.
Do you have an update on Richard Moore?
Yeah, he's got an ankle. You know, we've had a weird number of ankles. And so Richard has an ankle. You know, I haven't gotten an update. I don't have any idea how severe it is. All I kept getting was about every third play, so-and-so's out, so-and-so's out, so-and-so's out. You know, we're adjusting on special teams and moving people around and trying to get them ready. And it was just, you know, we had a lot of guys out.
Can you talk about the quarterback situation moving forward?
Yeah, we'll look at the tape and see. You know, we're going to do whatever we think gives us the best chance to win. The good thing is we have confidence in two quarterbacks, and so I don't see how that's a negative thing. You know what I mean? I think Will has shown what kind of player we think he can be, and obviously, you know, Ben has as well. And so, you know, I think we just keep moving forward and you know, and keep growing.
Y'all run a lot of short passes, screen passes. Was that designed to get Will in a rhythm early on? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like anything else. We felt like we liked our matchup when we got the ball in the perimeter. You know, our skill against their guys, and so, you know, we wanted to get the ball down the field a little bit, but at the same time, every possession's so important. You know, when you play these guys, and so, you know, you have a 3 and out, it's crippling because you may not get the ball back for another 10 minutes. And so, you know, I think we had the ball one possession in the first quarter. You know, I think 3 maybe in the first half, and so, you know, you better maximize them. And so for us, you know, we wanted to complete passes. That was what we kept saying, is throw completions, you know, let our guys, you know, create things with the ball in their hand, and I think it was a good plan.
You said during the week that you decide later on whether you're going to go with Ben or Will. When did you decide, and how much of your decision was based on practice versus what he did in Michigan?
Well, I mean, I think we felt like just based on Will played the second half, you know, going into we felt like he deserved an opportunity to go build on that performance. You know, but I think, again, the way Ben practiced, it gave us the confidence to put him into the end of the ball game and for him to make the plays down the stretch.
You used a couple true freshmen in Jared Miles and Travion Johnson, our receiver. What went into that decision?
Just healthy bodies, you know what I mean? We were just kind of starting to go down some guys, and I think both of them have practiced well enough. I mean, they're both still learning. You know, they're really two very talented young kids that are raw coming out of high school and you know, are both going to be good players. And so, you know, we just felt like they had improved enough where it merited getting them on the field, and felt like they could, you know, do enough things to give us a chance. You know, and you go look at our roster. I mean, we've played a remarkable number of young players. You know what I mean? I mean, just newcomers and young guys, and you know, and we needed them. Like I said, we're just banged up right now, and so, you know, we've got to, you know, we got to regroup a little bit and see where we are, and I think you'll continue to see more and more young players play.